There is a kind of beauty that doesn't enter the room, it expands through it. It doesn't ask for attention. It creates silence. It creates pause. It creates awareness. And this kind of beauty doesn't come from the shape of your body, the symmetry of your face, or the way you dress. It comes from somewhere deeper, from somewhere older than time. It's the energy of a woman who remembers herself, and when she walks into a space, everything else adjusts to her presence. This is not the kind of attraction the world usually celebrates. It isn't loud or curated. It isn't filtered or rehearsed. It lives in the tone of your voice, in the way your eyes hold softness even when your heart has been through war. It lives in the steadiness of your breath, in the way your silence feels safer than someone else's words. You are attractive not because of what you try to be, but because of what you no longer need to prove. And that energy, that quiet self-possession, is magnetic in a way most people can't explain. Carl Jung believed that our inner world creates the outer experience, that when a woman integrates her shadow and her light, she becomes whole, and that wholeness radiates far beyond her skin. People can't name it, but they feel it. It's the feeling of being in the presence of someone who is not performing, someone who is not trying to earn your attention, your approval, or your desire. That kind of woman doesn't enter the room seeking validation. She becomes the still point in a world that is constantly spinning. And men feel it. They might not understand it, but they sense it. You've probably noticed it already. The way some men hesitate before speaking to you. The way others look at you a little longer than expected, as if trying to understand something they can't quite place. You've seen the confusion in their eyes, the question they're too afraid to ask. Why does she affect me this way? It's because your presence is not just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's energetic. You walk into a room and bring depth. You breathe, and something shifts. You laugh, and the space softens. That's not small. That's power. This kind of attraction doesn't chase. It doesn't beg. It doesn't try to control. It allows, it invites, it reveals. And that's why it feels different, because it isn't built on seduction. It's built on presence, on the ability to be fully where you are, as you are, without shrinking or inflating. It's the kind of energy that makes people slow down, that makes noise quiet itself, that makes men question the kind of women they've settled for, and the parts of themselves they've avoided. And sometimes it scares them, because when you are grounded in your own feminine energy, when you radiate truth without even trying, you awaken parts of others they've tried to keep hidden. You bring clarity to confusion. You bring warmth to guarded hearts. You bring depth to shallow spaces. That's why some people avoid you without knowing why. That's why some men come close but pull away. It's not that you're too much. It's that you remind them of everything they're not yet ready to feel. You are attractive because you are whole, not perfect, not polished, but whole. You've seen your own darkness and stayed. You've lost parts of yourself and found your way back. You've cried for the woman you once were and celebrated the woman you're becoming. That journey lives in your eyes. It hums through your presence. And no amount of makeup, styling, or status could ever replicate it. Carl Jung spoke of the anima, inner feminine, in the male psyche. When a man encounters a woman deeply connected to her essence, that anima is activated. He sees in her what he has lost in himself. He feels the softness he was taught to reject. He remembers the warmth he stopped seeking. And suddenly, he's no longer just looking at a woman. He's facing his own longing, his own fear, his own forgotten tenderness. That's what you bring, not just attraction, awakening. That is not your job to be more digestible for those who haven't yet learned how to feel. It is not your duty to shrink your depth so others can feel comfortable in their numbness. You are not too intense. You are not too emotional. You are not too aware. You are simply tuned into energy, into truth, into the unsaid. And yes, some people will misread that. They'll project their fear onto your presence. They'll call you intimidating. They'll call you complicated. But the ones who are ready, the ones who have done the work to meet you where you are, they will see you. They will feel you. They will know that your silence speaks more clearly than most people's words. Your attractiveness is not a mask you wear. It's not a strategy you deploy. It's a vibration you carry, a field you emit. And that field was built through years of becoming, of breaking, of healing, of choosing yourself again and again. Every scar you carry has made your light clearer. Every disappointment has deepened your compassion. Every time you've had to stand alone has rooted you more deeply in who you are. So when someone is drawn to you without knowing why, Understand this, it's not about your looks, it's about your energy. When someone stares at you longer than they should, when their voice softens around you, when they hesitate to speak as if trying to find the right frequency, it's not attraction in the traditional sense, it's soul recognition. They're sensing something eternal in you, something timeless, something real. You don't have to explain it, you don't have to justify it, you only have to honor it. Your presence is not an accident, your energy is not random. You were made to be felt, to be known without being touched, to be remembered without saying a word. And the men who are not ready for that will fumble, they will project, they will run. Let them. That has nothing to do with you. Their fear is not your flaw. You are a highly attractive woman, not because the world says so, but because your soul shines through your skin, because your heart is still open, even after everything, because you carry your pain with grace and your wisdom with humility, because you've made peace with your past and stopped waiting for permission to be who you are. That kind of woman doesn't have to chase, she simply becomes, and in becoming, she draws everything that is meant for her. So the next time someone tells you there's something about you they can't explain, believe them. They're right, there is. And it's beautiful. If you've felt confused by a man's signals, you're not imagining things. The Jung Method reveals what he hides, and why you feel it anyway. It helps you reclaim your energy and finally understand the truth behind silence. Link pinned in the first comment. The most attractive women in the world are not always the most conventionally beautiful. They're not always the ones who post the perfect photo or walk in with heads turning in every direction. The women who leave an impression without saying a word, who stay in a man's memory long after she's gone, are the ones who carry something deeper. They radiate a presence that goes beyond the physical. Their energy speaks. Their calmness becomes the loudest thing in the room. Their silence is the most honest sound a man hears all day. You are attractive when your energy is centered, when you are not reaching, not proving, not shrinking, when your very existence becomes a safe space for others to breathe deeper. This kind of presence doesn't require validation. It doesn't flirt or posture or convince. It allows, it invites, it holds space. That's what makes it rare. Because most people are taught to seek attention by being louder, brighter, more visible. But you've learned that your true power lies in subtlety, in stillness, in the energy that moves through you, not just around you. There is something unmistakable about a woman who has faced herself, who has walked through her own darkness and didn't turn away. That self-awareness becomes her perfume. Not something you smell, but something you feel. It stays on your skin long after she leaves. You can't quite name it, but it's there. That's what men respond to. Not just the shape of your body or the way you wear your clothes, but the way you carry your pain with grace. The way your eyes soften instead of harden. The way you hold your own heart without demanding anyone else to do it for you. Carl Jung taught that the more we integrate our unconscious, the more magnetic we become. Why? Because integrated people feel safe. They're not projecting, they're not pretending, they're not looking for someone to complete them. They are complete, and that completeness is attractive in the deepest sense. A man might not know why he feels drawn to you. He might not even be ready for you, but something in him recognizes something in you, something he's forgotten, something he didn't realize he needed. That's the power of your presence. Your attraction lives in the way you respond rather than react, in how you listen more than you speak, in how you don't need to control the room to feel important. You walk into a space and your body doesn't demand, it communicates. It says, I am here and I am enough. That vibration alone disarms egos. It calms anxiety. It creates intimacy without touch. And that is what makes you unforgettable. Highly attractive women are often misunderstood because they don't follow the rules that others play by. They don't compete. They don't compare. They don't manipulate to be chosen. They've already chosen themselves. They've made peace with their wounds. They've stopped trying to win love and started embodying it. That inner shift is what makes the outer so radiant. The glow is not a product of attention. It's a result of alignment. Men often speak of women who are different. The one they couldn't forget. The one who didn't try, but stayed in their mind. That woman wasn't chasing. She wasn't begging. She wasn't available for games. She was simply in her truth. And truth is magnetic, especially to someone who's tired of illusions. She made him feel more by saying less. She showed him something real by refusing to pretend. That's what makes you powerful, not how many look at you, but how many feel something they can't explain when they do. and not everyone will know how to handle it. Some will say you're intimidating. Others will call you distant or difficult to read. That's because your energy demands honesty. It doesn't play by unconscious patterns. It doesn't respond to emotional immaturity. You don't entertain chaos. You hold clarity. And clarity is terrifying to those still hiding from themselves. You may have noticed that you often attract two types of men: those who want to possess your light, and those who want to protect it. The first are drawn to the glow but don't know how to hold it. They love the way you make them feel, but haven't yet learned how to give that same depth in return. The second recognize you, not just as a woman, but as a mirror. They see the work you've done, they feel the peace you've fought for, and they don't want to take from you, they want to grow beside you. That's how you know you've evolved. When the kind of attention you attract starts to change, your attraction is sacred. It isn't for everyone, and that's the point. You're not here to be digestible. You're here to be real, to be fully expressed, to be deeply felt. Your softness doesn't mean weakness. Your sensitivity isn't a liability. It's your compass, the way you read a room, the way you feel truth before it's spoken, the way you know when to walk away, even if your heart wants to stay. That's power. That's wisdom. That's beauty. You have become magnetic, not because you tried to be, but because you stopped trying to be anything else. You started listening to your body. You started honoring your feelings. You stopped overgiving and started setting boundaries. You let go of roles and started reclaiming your soul. And that shift changed everything. Your walk became steadier. Your eyes became clearer. Your voice became softer, but more certain. And the world noticed, even if no one said it out loud. Carl Jung reminded us that the unconscious always reveals itself, and yours has become integrated. You're no longer living in pieces. You've called your power back from every place you once abandoned it. And now, even your silence speaks. Even your stillness moves things. You've become the kind of woman who can change a man without touching him, who can inspire healing without offering solutions, who can be loved without ever having to beg for it. That's the kind of attraction no one teaches you about. The kind that doesn't fit into categories. The kind that makes people uncomfortable because it can't be owned. It can only be felt. And those who feel it either rise to meet it or run from it. Let them. Your energy is not here to be explained. It's here to be embodied. And maybe you've wondered why people pull back when you show up as your full self. Maybe you've questioned if your truth is too much, if your softness makes you a target. But the truth is, your presence reveals what others are hiding. Your embodiment exposes where they're fragmented. And sometimes, the greatest act of love you can offer is to let people go when they're not ready for what you carry. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be felt. You are here to remember that the most radiant beauty lives beneath the surface, that a truly attractive woman doesn't need to perform. She simply becomes. She becomes so rooted in herself that others can't help but notice. She becomes so peaceful that chaos can't enter. She becomes so clear that lies fall away. And in that becoming, she sets the standard not just for love, but for how to live. Your energy is the love letter you write to the world every day without speaking. It's the vibration you carry into every room, into every glance, into every breath. And those who are meant for you will feel it, even if they don't understand it, even if they can't name it, even if all they say is, "There's just something about her." That something is everything. You don't have to become more. You already are. And the more you own that, the more radiant you become. Not because you're trying, but because you've stopped pretending. You've let the mask fall. You've come home to yourself. And that is the most attractive thing a woman can ever do.